Hi, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Very nice to see you all. So finally, I'm at home after a very long time on a weekend because normally I'm just outside. Even last weekend too, I was outside. So this is the first weekend after such a long time that I'm at home and I'm able to host this AMA session today. Let me make sure like, okay, recording is in progress. Okay, everything is fine. So let's kickstart. So I will be making some progress report as I always do. And after that, let me just shed some light on B3X and where we are and where we are going towards. So first of all, we got like a lot of inquiries and lot of interest for the custodian services, which is really great. So the idea was to like do away with the current business like what we are having on the b-cube.ai platform, and the reason is very simple. Unlike stock markets, crypto markets are bit like kind of complicated and a very big headache. For example, like every exchange has their own rules, and every exchange works in a very different way. The fee structures are different, and the way how derivatives works is very different. The way how the API keys works is very different. The biggest problem is like sometimes the exchanges upgrade their platform, but they don't inform us, and we are on their API communities, like where when we become an API broker, like for example bcube and 3 commas and other people, we are in a different kind of Telegram group with them, with our developers and themselves. Normally they are supposed to inform us there if some new things happens, but they don't do it. And by the time we come to know that something is wrong, of course we are running our own test accounts also on the company's side. We do have an account on all the exchanges that we support, and there we are also trading with some kind of small money just to check if all the trades are going on fine or not. But sometimes we get this kind of errors, but sometimes we don't get. And I will tell you the biggest problem is that, for example, if you are in EU like me, then we have a different rule. But if you are in some kind of EEA region, like which is European Economical Area, but not European Union, for example, Norway, or for example, Switzerland, so they're not part of EU, but they're part of EEA. So the account in Switzerland works very different compared to the account in France, or compared to the account in Spain, or in Hungary, for example. So it's super complicated because it's the same exchange, works very differently for EU customers, works very differently for EEA customers, and it works very differently for Asia and rest of the world. So it's a very big headache for us to, like to make all these modifications on the exchange to make it perfect for the API trading to happen. And despite doing all these things, this system is again going to change. So in the last 6 months, I don't know how many times Bybit Exchange, is changing the way how they get the orders from us. It's changed so rapidly. Binance is quite stable, but even they also made some kind of changes because they don't want to support USDT because it's not MiCA compliant. So they made something like Binance credits. So even this is a bit of complication on the exchange side. And when it comes to like Dutch clients, or English clients, like many exchanges are banned in these countries. So in England, some of the exchanges doesn't work that we support. It's the same in Netherlands. It's the same thing with some other EU countries. So we have to always figure out like which exchange is good for these customers, like so that we can still keep providing the services to them. And it's a very big headache. Each time when we support a new exchange, like look, we had like a lot of exchanges. For example, we had Binance, we have Bybit, we have KuCoin, we have Kraken, we have like Coinbase and many other exchanges. The problem is like it's not about integrating a new exchange. We can do the integration process in probably 2 days and 3 days for testing. So in 1 week we can support an exchange. But the thing is like after FTX happened, I don't want to get into exchanges which I don't trust completely, And probably like today, I will be very excited to provide you with this exchange and say that like, okay, our clients from England can trade on this exchange. So please go ahead. Or our clients from Netherlands or like any other countries, like you can go ahead and trade this exchange. But what if like they start trading on this exchange because we made it possible for them, and these exchanges later on, rug pull them? So it will be a responsibility on our side, right? So I don't want to get into that kind of messy stuff, especially after FTX and all these things happen. So I just want to stick with some exchanges which has very high credibility, and they have very good, governance systems and KYCs and everything in place. Whether that is going to protect you or not, that's a different debate. But at least these people are playing by the books, so which gives like much more, you know, um, trust and confidence in them than other people who do business very sneaky way. So this is the major reason like why I'm liking this, I started to dislike this API based trading because it's not really helping anybody. It's not helping the customers. It's not helping us. For example, like if there is an error, we will come to know on the spot if we have the custody of the funds, because we will be watching that very constantly, and we will also set up a kind of like monitoring system. So this will give us like immediate real time, alerts like to us, like if something goes wrong, or like if something is not working fine, or if orders are not getting placed, something like that. Like we will know everything, and everything is in our control, so we will manage that, we will take care of it, and we will see to that like everything goes fine. But many things is not possible in API based trading, because um one of the client like actually returned to us, like he integrated with our platform like nearly 4 months ago, and he was trading on Bybit. The first month, like he made something like 8% on his account. Because even though sometimes it can be 10 or 12 on our platform, but real returns, what you make after everything and money on your overall portfolio, not money per trade, it will be around like 5 to 7% or something like that one. So he made like very good money. And then, second, third, fourth month, he was not really watching his investment, which is pretty, understandable. Because when first month everything is fine, like he didn't watch it, and he was paying subscription to us. And what happened? Like now he logged in, and for the last 3 months, not a single trade has happened, and he was feeling very bad about it. Like, hey, like I was so happy, like everything was going up, and like a strategy was doing so well, but it was not happening. But it was not our problem actually. It was related to this upgradation of the account of Bybit. So all these problems, and it's a very big messy thing, and we have to maintain a lot of customer support. The developers need to keep contacting with the customers and speaking to them. These are all good, like when you have like a 50 100 member team, like where you have like a technical support team of like 20 people to handle all these things. Otherwise we come back to you very late, because like two developers, if they are taking care of all these tickets, like they need to investigate first of all your account, like why it happened, and what is the solution to it, whether there was some problem from our side or from the exchange side. So we need to dig into the logs. It's a lot of things. So the best thing is, like doing custody, because custody is the best thing. You don't have to worry about which exchange it is supported in in your country. You don't have to worry about like whether the trades are getting executed or not. You don't have to worry like about checking which strategy is doing good. And mostly like you don't have to like go from one agent to another agent, because everything will be taken care by us basically. You just have to like tell some basic things about like your risk appetite and everything, and we will have a basic questionnaire. Once you answer those questionnaires, then we suggest you something like, okay, this strategy is good for you, and this strategy is good for you. It fits well with your risk criteria and several other like your investment goals. So you can go ahead with that one. And as a regulated company, we can make advisory services in this way. Like we can have a conversation. We cannot push you into anything. But of course, if you are asking us, we can of course like give you, this kind of advice, like what you can do, and we can suggest you. So in this way, like it becomes very straightforward, and we can just go ahead. So I think like this is a way forward. And slowly, like we would like to, like get into, custody more and more. And we want to reduce the dependency on the platform less and less. So once we make, a significant amount of AUM, like which I have already said, around $50 million, then we will close it and we will just run it like internally, and we start to like make revenues out of it. Because it was a very bad time for us, like until January 2024, this year. Like previously, like 1.5 years, like we couldn't do the business because the agents what we have, we could have had it like 1 year before, not now. We could have had it 1 year before itself. But we couldn't make that research. And there was a lot of restrictions, like whom we can offer, whom we should not offer. Every day we were hearing very different things. We can do that, we can do this, and we can't do this, we can't do that. A lot of things were happening, so everything got delayed. Like one year or 1.5 years, we lost it for nothing. So right now, like the focus is like doing business that is very simple, and that doesn't need us to invest a lot in manpower or anything as such, and have the very strong focus on the revenues. Because once we have a strong revenue, then many things are possible, because we will invest the same revenue back to the business. And when I say like back to the business, it doesn't mean like in engineering terms, because engineering terms we are quite strong. So we need to invest on marketing. I have like so many marketing strategies which will perfectly work, but what we need is a budget for that. And this marketing like will be divided into several different parts. Like it can be content marketing, it will be KOL marketing, it will be creating, backlinks by making good SEOs. So you need to have like a 360-degree perspective on that. And also some PRs, like some good magazines are there, like Bean Crypto and Cointelegraph. I've even like, met this CEO of Cointelegraph. So we bonded very well, and I know her personally. So we can make a lot of collaborations with her and with Cointelegraph and all these media agencies. So many things can be done. So we need budget, and for that we need to be like making money, and saying like, okay, like we need to have token utility in custodian services and all. Like look, like people need to have business temperament, and the way they need to see business as a business and not emotionally. Sometimes like what you want cannot be achieved in the way like how you want it to be achieve it, right? So how you can achieve it is like there are so many ways to do it. First thing is like you need to be cash rich, you need to earn a lot of cash, and that's the way like we are going towards custodian services, because custodian services will give us a lot of money for sure. And with that kind of money, like we can fix this marketing way, like by making good contents, making good PR, very good KOLs, and all these kind of hiring processes and everything. And once that is there in place, then like we can go for a CX listing. We can add like liquidity. We can get the market makers and everything. So that's how like we have to become fundamentally strong. So just by creating some kind of token utility, nobody is going to care about that. Honestly, I'm very candidly speaking. If I say like, okay, you can give tokens to us, and you can use this product, what will we do with the token? So we will have to cash out the token. So we will have to sell the token. So selling the token means you will see the price going down, not up. And if we are just accepting the token and burning it, how are we even making money then? It's not practical to even think about it. So the practical way is like, if we have money, that money can be used in so many different ways. Marketing is one way, buying back and burning is another way, listing the token on exchanges in another way, or paying to the very good market maker is another way. There are so many ways to do it. That's why we have to think business in a different point of view. If you want to, like really flourish in the tokenomics, in the token economics, then your economics should be strong. So that's what we are absolutely focused on now, to make the company very strong. And if the company is very strong, then everything will be possible. So we are also like already, like speaking to funds and other kind of B2B businesses. So once we get this B2B businesses, like we'll be getting millions and millions of dollars in custodian services. So once we are managing like millions and millions of dollars in custody, then we will be making a lot of money with these kind of things. And if we are making like $1 million or plus of profits every year, then that is going to be a huge game changer. So that's what we are aiming for now. We are aiming for like managing millions and millions of dollars in asset under management. We are already in talks with a lot of funds, a lot of family offices, a lot of DAOs, a lot of treasuries, the crypto project treasuries, a lot of high net worth individuals as well. So with all these things, I'm pretty confident that we will be able to manage like 8 figures by end of next year, which is going to give us a lot of money, a lot of profits, not just money, like not just revenues, but the profits. And out of that profits, we'll be able to reinvest in the company in so many different ways and then make everything possible and make the company strong and make the token strong and make everything strong. So that's my view and that's my take on the custodian business. And once we establish ourselves as a very good custodian, we have to go slowly one by one and not doing many things at the same time, which will not allow us to do anything perfectly. So we need to do one thing at a time and do it perfectly and do it very good. So this is always my philosophy. So once we do custodian business very well, the next will be market making. So this is where like we want to go towards, because BCube as a regulated entity can do several businesses with the current license. One of them is market making also, OTC trades, and there are several other things that we can do. But we want to focus currently on custody and market making and advisory, because we will be speaking to every client during the custody. So advisory, custodian, and market making. So this is the path ahead for b-cube.ai. So yeah, I mean, like slowly we are getting towards this B2B side of the business and custodian business. So that's where like we want to go towards. And next one is about I made some points. Mm, so in the meantime, like we are also discussing about like starting off with some small campaigns for bcube.ai. So we are thinking like whether to go to LinkedIn to go towards totally like B2B side, because I think B2B side is like pretty easy to close the deal. We just need to know the people, and it's pretty easy to close the deal. Like it will be a big money, and this kind of big money, like once if we get it, like then it's going to be amazing. We'll be managing a huge amount of money, which will give the cash flow for us. And once we have the cash flow, like as I explained to you, like we can do many things. Strategies are doing great. If we have custody of the funds, like we can do much more things and much more greater things, to be honest. Because when we have custody, like probably we can take decisions in a very different way. And when we are very confident about the trade, when the market is very good, we can probably trade a little bit more of the money that we have custody in. And when we are not sure about some trade and markets is not doing well, like we can trade with very small amount of money. So we have this flexibility and we can make this decision being professionals. But if you have already set up something like, okay, per trade 5%, per trade 30%, so it will be 30%. Sometimes per trade can be even 90% or 100%. And some trades like, okay, you can put only 10%. So these decisions, we can make it on the go. And that's why you will have more alpha in custodian services as compared to doing it yourself also. As you can see, like it's clearly a very different game here. So yeah, I mean, like with this in mind, like we are also thinking about like going to LinkedIn for making these campaigns, going to B2B side, or going on some other platforms, trying more B2C side. So we haven't decided on that, but we'll be making very quick decisions on this one to take a like decision to go towards this road. And also like if you see the customer acquisition cost of B2C customers is quite high if you compare that with B2B customers. So B2B customers, it's a lot of meeting, but finally like the acquisition cost is very less compared to B2C. And also like a customer lifetime value is very high, which means like they will stay with you for a very long time. They will also bring in like big money. So it is good. It is good for the business, and it's good for everybody. And if the business is doing good and if the business is making money, then many things are possible for us to do for our community. So I mean, like that's it about like B-Cube's upgrades, and as I said, like product is doing great, so there is nothing to think about, speak about the product itself. We are also thinking of like a couple of other products, but we don't want to bring in too many products at this point in time when something is doing really very good. We just want to run the way how it is running now. And let's see, like, because we have like some other models, like which we're also testing currently, which is giving good results, both long and short and long only. Some people are very risk averse in crypto. They don't want to deal with altcoins, so they just want to deal with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we have some strategies which trades only in Bitcoin, Ethereum as well. So that's where like we are looking at. And if you see like the APR returns, like what you get by staking Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're pretty low. They're very low. Compared to that, like if you are using these kind of services like custodian services of b-cube.ai, we are beating them completely hands down. So that's where like we differentiate ourselves from anybody else. That many other custodian services like which is there in the market, they just take it from you and they stake it on a DeFi platform and they give back the same returns. But they will tell you, of course, they are saying openly that we are putting your money on Aave or Curve or Compound or any kind of protocol, and we are earning like 7% there, and we take 10% from that, and then we are giving you like 6.3%. So I think you can do it yourself, and the returns are very, very low at 7%. So I don't think like it's even worth it to make 7% per year there, but you can make more with us in the custodian services. So that's how we differentiate ourselves, and that's how custodian business is very good for the customers. Yeah, so that's it about like BCube updates. So B3X side, there are like very, very good updates. First of all, like and the product development is going on fine. It's great. Actually, product development finished last week. Like now, it's going through the smart contracts are going through auditing. So once the auditing is finished, then we will test it some more time, and then we will deploy on the main net. So it will be deployed probably in December. So somewhere around like mid of December, it will be deployed. So everybody will be able to put their hands on it. Yeah, otherwise the product is great. It's a perp trading dex, like with perp trading dex means perpetual trading dex, similar to like how you see Binance futures or like any other kind of like exchange. It will be the same, and you will not feel any difference, even though it's a decentralized exchange. You just have to connect your wallet. Besides that, it looks the same. We have built everything from our side except the order book, because the order book and the liquidity is provided by Injective. So apart from that, like everything else, all the other components, like we have built it. And the DeFi part is completely built by us, which is like a fund builder and a fund oracle. So fund builder is like where any fund managers will be able to build their own funds, which is a tokenized fund. It's not a simple fund, it's a tokenized fund, just like a mutual fund. There is an NAV, net asset value. So you'll be buying into the shares of that particular fund, and your money will be in a vault, and that will be traded. And of course, you have complete control over your money, and you have complete control over your wallets, your money, everything. And whenever you want, you can withdraw it, you can put it, you can do whatever you want in a completely decentralized way. And this is amazing because for the first time, we are allowing, SFSS technology or AI technology for fund builders to use that. So there is something which is very special about per trading decks of B3X. First of all, like in B3X, like we have, cryptos, and we have some real world assets as of now, like gold, silver, and euros, and pounds, and dollars, and these kind of things. And also, like we are developing something now, which is quite different from this, because we don't want to have the shared order book for a very long time. So we are developing our own custom perpetual trading decks, which means from the scratch, including the order books, everything. We are developing it ourselves, completely in-house. So when we launch this, our own perpetual trading decks, which is built from the scratch in Q2 2025, we need like 6 to 7 months to build it. So we will be launching it like completely our own. which will have our own order books, which will have our own things. At that point in time, we will be launching the synthetic tokens of real world assets. So synthetic tokens of real world assets means what? Stock market. We will launch the synthetic token of Apple. We'll launch the synthetic token of Tesla, synthetic token of Citibank, synthetic token of JP Morgan, or whatever you want. So you will have all the synthetic tokens of stocks, commodities, plus cryptos. So you will be able to build a real fund. So this is happening for the first time in the DeFi world. You cannot build a real fund, a tokenized fund. When I say fund, it works exactly like a hedge fund. It's a tokenized fund, which means like when you buy into a fund, you're actually buying the shares. So when the AUM starts to appreciate, which means like when profits are made, it's accumulating profits, then the value of the shares goes up. So what you do when you have bought the fund, you bought the shares. So you will sell the shares back, you will get back your money in profits. So it's a real fund, and you're able to build that type of fund which can have commodities in it, which can have synthetic tokens of real world assets, and which will also have cryptos in it. So everything in one single platform. And they can build like synthetic, systematic trading, like which is long and short using our SFSS. They can build long only strategies. They can just, even make like just buy and hold in order to beat S&P 500, anything, something like that. So that is what B3X is all about. So the first version, which will have like very limited version, will be released in December. And there will be governance, of course, because it's a DAO, and there is huge, like a token utility, which you will read. I mean, like once you get the white paper. So there is like huge utility for the token, which also includes like a revenue sharing and so, stuff like that. But we don't call it as revenue sharing because we don't want to get into problems with regulators. So we call it as like staking rewards, because you stake the tokens and you get part of the revenues as a reward, as a staking reward. So this is just using a different word, but it means the same thing. So to sum it up, like we are currently going through the auditing of the smart contracts. And once the smart contract auditing is finished, then we'll be launching it in December. Um, and coming to the token sale, like I know everybody is very interested about the token sale. Like, so the first 25 people that we will be selecting. So this is selected based on their loyalty of holding the tokens, and how many people like didn't sell the tokens, and how many people sold the tokens, but they have been holding it for a very long time and been very good supporters. Supporters means on social media, on Telegram, being active, being doing these things. Like, look, this is what community is all about. So if somebody has done that, then we have some statistics. Based on that, like we are picking them. And also, like, we don't need to, someone to email us or something like that. So don't do it, because it's of no use if you email to us like no, you have been this, you have been that, you've been doing that. No, we have like, blockchain records. We can clearly see the wallet addresses. So it's not about the names that matters. It's about the wallet addresses, because blockchain doesn't lie, right? It doesn't lie. If you see the blockchain records, you get it. You just get it. Like you don't, there is no name there, of course. And we don't care about that. What we care about is like those addresses which has never sold anything, because this gives us a confidence like we are launching the final round of token sale at $35 million valuation. So when we are listing, probably it will be around like 250 or 300, million dollars. So when we are having that type of a, goal to reach, we'll be thinking a lot like who are the right people who will be holding it for a long time until it goes to like 500 million or like a $700 million or something like that, the valuation. And then they will be able to cash it out slowly, slowly. Because when you grow that much big, when you are having like almost 50,000, 70,000 wallet holders of your project, then even if you sell like, $300,000 worth of tokens in a single day, it means nothing. It will be just absorbed as if it was nothing. So my intention is not to say that like you don't sell. Of course you can sell. It's your money. It's your decision. Totally agree with that. And I'm nobody to say that like you should not sell or something like that one. Even that I totally agree with that. But we should do it very smartly, because if you do it smartly, you earn more. You have to think about it. So if you do it very prematurely, it can all have a domino effect. And this domino effect will make your own earnings less compared to like how much it will be like if we are patient and if we are holding for a very long time. And when it reaches some point, then slowly, like we offload it. Because if we for B3X from the day one, we are going to have a very, very good market maker from the day one, because it's going to listed on a very big exchange. Trust me, very big exchange. So once it's getting listed on a very big exchange, we are going to have like a very, very big, market makers. It can be Wintermute, it can be GSR. I have friends in all these companies. That's why I'm openly taking their names. I know the founders, very good relationship I have with them. So we will be having them as market makers from the day one. So we will have market makers, we will have all these people. So that's why these 25 people, like whom we know what they have done and how they have contributed to the project so far. Um, and that's been phenomenal. So we would like to have the same kind of people. And there might be, some other people like who do that. But what I want to say is like, with B3X, I want to see the things in a very different way and in a very fresh way, and not to repeat any of those things like what was happening with bcube once again, right? It should be a very fresh outlook, it should be a very fresh people, because you don't know, like actually we have hired one of the most prominent Twitter social media managers in the entire crypto industry. He's expensive, but he's worth it. And you will see like what he will do for B3X. So we'll be having hundreds and thousands of followers on, not bots, not at all, not at all, real community people. So when these community people are joining there, they are coming with different energy, with different thoughts, because this will be a complete DeFi crowd, not a CeFi crowd. So DeFi people, they know about wallets, they know about blockchain, they will be completely different things. So I would like to see like who will be the people like who will be, making new friends there, like making new community people there. So that's very important for us. And that's why like these 25 people are extremely important for us. And that's why we are making this decision very, very carefully, so that we don't get like some kind of elements from some of the experiences that we have, and they come with same kind of tantrums, the same kind of like all these things, and I don't want to see that again with B3X. It happened there, and let it finish there, let them be there, but I don't want that legacy to continue. Because if B3X is hugely successful, and if we hit that, 500 million or like 600 million, and I'm telling you, I'm confident about these big numbers, because um, the competitors of B3X will be someone like, for example, on the deck side, perpetual deck side, there is DYDX, there's GMX, FXDX, there is like Sim Futures, and there is Hyperliquid. There are so many people, right? And on the DeFi side, like exactly having this, fund builder, fund oracles, and these things, nobody. Nobody is using like AI driven tools, like which can be proven that it's an AI and it's doing something exceptionally well. Nobody. So we are absolutely unique in this way. And just having like, like Binance listed AEVO, AEVO, they are listed on Binance, and they are also exactly something like B3X. All these projects are having like a market cap of between like 400 to 1.3 billion dollars, 1.3 billion, 300 million, 400, 300, 400 million to 1.3 billion dollars. So we are coming in here, we are bringing in the trading in synthetic tokens of real world assets, which is a very, very hot topic currently, the real world assets. And we're bringing an AI element into it. We are building a perpetual trading DEX and a DeFi. So there's a DeFi here, there's an AI here, and there is a RWA here. So it's a huge thing. It's a very huge thing. So if this becomes like generates a lot of, like buzz, which we are going to do it, because we are going to kill it in the marketing now completely. We are having like a very big budget with the money that we are raising, which will be completely, spent on marketing first, basically. Then we are going to spend a lot to get listed on a very big exchange, and then market making and so, things like that. And all these things to have like that big market cap, that big pull, and big, like grip over this DeFi industry. And if we manage to do it, like, to push B-Cube later on, it's not that difficult, but we need to make one thing at a time. So please don't go on B3X Twitter handle and, like tag b-cube or like write, $ b-cube or something, because people who are there who will be coming newly to that platform, they don't know anything about b-cube. They don't know anything about this token. And they will be confused, like, what is this one? This is B3X, right? Like, why they're writing about this one? Like, let's just focus with B-cube with B-cube and B3X with B3X. Let's see these two things as a different things and which is complementing one another. And saying it is complementing is not necessary. Once we get there, then we will be able to actually do it. So we have to play this game very smartly. Sometimes when saying the things might not really be very beneficial, but if you just do the things what you are supposed to do, you can do great things there. So that's why like we have selected like, these 25 people like who have been the real guards of B-cube. And I know for sure they will be the real guards of B3X as well. So we have just released like few names, and other names we'll be releasing. And for these people, like they will not be, going on any kind of smart contract. They will not be, fighting this gas wars or like any of these kind of things. What we will do is like we'll send them a SAFT agreement. So they will sign on the SAFT agreement, and then they will send us the stable coins to wallet addresses. And once when we do TGE, based on like the vesting things and everything, we will personally be in touch with them and we will distribute their tokens. So this is something like similar to how people do it with VCs. VCs also the same. VCs don't go they connect their wallets on smart contracts and they pay the gas fees. They don't do that. Even with BQ, when we deal with VCs, like we never did that one. They were asking us to send a SAFT. We were sending it in DocuSign. They were signing it online and they were sending us the money. So then once it was the time, they were asking like, okay, when are you listing the token and when will we get it? We were saying like, okay, here is the details. And they're like, okay, fine. When you are sending it, like, please send it to this wallet address. That's it. We were sending it to them. Everything was happening that way. So these 25 people are completely out of this, paying the gas, buying the things. No, they are not doing that one. We are going to send them the SEFT and they are going to sign and they will send it back to us. And coming to like rest of the, this was a very big allocation because currently there is a lot of demand for B3X. I'm telling you, like there is huge demand. Like, many launch pads are contacting me and many other investors are contacting. A lot of people are contacting, and even Injective themselves, like they are going to launch us on their launch pad. So there are a lot of other opportunities also. But I said to everybody very, very honestly that, look, I promise to my community that I will give them a $1 million of allocation. I will not take back my words. And they were like, no, 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 you have to do this. I said like, no, there is other things for that. There is other rounds for that if you want to do it that way. But this one, I cannot remove that. And they were like, okay, if you don't want to remove it, like we will just keep it. And I don't want to take back my words. Like I'm keeping my words. So another $750,000 will be divided by $2,000 each, and that will be through a and also like I got this question. Zero actually sent me questions in the morning, like some members were asking, and he just forwarded me the question. So how do we know their names or nicknames or holding or something? As I said, like even for this $2,000, we are not going by names. Please don't think in that way. We are not going by names or we are not going by anything. We just go on the blockchain records and we see like who are the people holding BCube tokens, and there we will whitelist all those holders. So we have like, 1,950 holders. We will whitelist everybody. So once they are whitelisted, they go on the platform, and on the day of purchase, like they can buy up to $2,000. So that's how it works. But you have to come, and we cannot like, if we cannot pick like now only 200, 300 people, because that's the only number of people that we can have. It's very difficult because there are holders, so we have to do that. And like now making like how much time they were holding and all, like once again, like we are already making it for our 10K allocation holders. We cannot make it for 2,000 people once again something, and 500 people once again something. We can't make it. So what we can do is like right now, like whitelist these people. or we will send, like a kind of Excel sheet, like where you can write your name and you will express your interest or something. And especially we can whitelist your, wallet address. And on that day, you are whitelisted. So even if you come late, it's reserved to you. So you can go and buy it. So this is the way like in which we can sort it out. And most probably the community round will happen in January 2025. We were supposed to make it in November, but as I said, like I don't want to do it like before the product is launched. We will launch the product and then we will do it in January. And January will be a very good time. And also, for the token sale, like there cannot be a better year than 2025, because 2025 will be a bull market year. So there will be a huge bull market, especially with the exchanges that we are planning to launch, especially with everything that is coming next year. This is going to be one of the biggest listings that I can promise you for sure. So next year, in January, will be the token sale for the community round. We will be doing that. Already some of the VC rounds like is ongoing. I haven't discussed with anybody, like just with some friends, like whom I know, like VC friends, like whom I keep meeting in all the conferences. So they've all expressed the interest, but I didn't push anything, and I'm not sharing the documents until it becomes completely public on Monday, which is 4th of November at 6 p.m. CET time, which is Paris time or Budapest time. So you can convert this time to your local places, but it is 6 p.m. Paris time. And then you will be having, like all the white paper and everything, and you will be able to read it. You will understand everything. Um, yeah. So there is one drastic change between like the approach that we had for B-Cube and the approach that we are having for like B-CubeX, which is like for B3X, like we are not having a Telegram handle, but we will be having a Discord server. So this decision we made, like, because for BCube we heard a lots of people saying like, no, we know we want Discord server, like we want Discord server, like this is not good, this is not fine. There is no different channels and stuff like that. And that was the time like when we were thinking about making this transition. And now we will have a Discord server, and also it will have different channels, like fund builders will have a separate channel for them, and there is a fund oracle channel, different things. It was all done by Zero in the beginning, so he has done a great job. So yeah, he has done a wonderful job. It's very incredible job. So yeah, I mean, like we will have a Discord server, and we will also have like admins and everybody there, and Zero will always be with us in that one. We might have an announcement channel only on Telegram for B3X, but the main thing will be Discord, because all the DeFi community and gaming community are more on Discord than on Telegram. On Telegram, it's very different type of crowd. But if you're speaking about pure developers or like this kind of DeFi people, gaming people, they're mostly on Discord. So Discord is the best thing for this project. So we'll be on Discord and not on Telegram for B3X. Yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. So I will be happy to take your questions now. So please go ahead and write your questions, and I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have. Yeah, normally I was doing this session at 3:30, and I don't know why. Like this time I felt it was at 3. So yeah, sorry for that confusion. Um, okay, Simon is asking a question. Will BCube also get listed on B3X DEX? For now, no, because for now, like we'll be using the shared order book of Injective. So in that one, we will have to pass it through a resolution on Injective DAO to make it happen. Maybe we can make it happen, but I don't know like if it is a good idea or not to push it on derivatives as of now. So we will wait for some time because I have my idea behind, like BCube tokens. For example, like first thing, like besides marketing, what needs to be fixed is the volumes, the trading volumes. So we need to find somebody who is decentralized exchange market maker. There are few people because you see, like there are millions of things happening in the background, in behind the scene, and everything I don't discuss actually. I was in discussion with CLS. They are the market makers on Uniswap. But you know what? Like CLS, Hotbit, everybody got controlled by SEC, Security Exchange Commission, and they are under inquiry now. So I have my very good friend there from South Korea who is working for CLS. And when he was just about to like get us this thing, it didn't happen. And there was like I was thinking like, okay, the CLS is going to take care of the volume generation on Uniswap, and then probably I can go to this KOL, and I even spoke to KOLs and everybody. But only one KOL was like really interested because he was making a lot of AI things. But then most of other KOLs whom he knows, they are into meme tokens currently. And they don't want to do any other tokens besides meme tokens. And someone is like very specific even there for doing only Solana based meme tokens. So they didn't agree with AI and trading theme as of now, but they said like right now, like we want to focus on meme tokens, and we will come back to you like in the next, next year, because the thing is like one KOL will not have any effect. So it's like, you need to have like 10 or 15 KOLs, and you need to give them like 10 or 20% discount to the market price, the tokens, and they will give the money. They will pay you the money, of course. And this money, we can use it for like adding liquidity and listing on a CEX or something. And they will ask us to tell a narrative, and we have to follow these narratives. And with this, they will push the prices and they will push like more token holders. So it's a kind of like whole setup. So first thing is like I'm still searching for somebody who can make the volumes on decentralized exchange, because I know people who can do that on centralized exchange. For example, Wintermute, DWF Labs, and Chiron, and many other market makers I know. For B3X, it's not a problem at all. I have like 4 or 5 market makers for that, but only for decentralized exchange, it's a bit tricky to find somebody, because they need to like pay the gas fees, and only gas fees they are going to charge us, and they will charge some fixed fees on a monthly basis, and they will create volumes there, buying, selling, everything. So I'm yet to find them, but this is my first step, to have some volumes on the Uniswap, and then like start this marketing also slowly with that. And then towards like but in Q2 2025, when we launch our own perp dex, we will also have a spot trading there. On the spot, we will list the BQ tokens, and not on the future, but we will see at that point in time. But for spot, yes, definitely. um So the community sale will happen January for the whitelisted people. Yeah, for the whitelisted people, it will be in January for 2K. And for other people, like for the 10K people, like we will soon like make an announcement, and afterwards we will send you out the SAFT agreements, and from the SAFT agreements we will be concluding this deal. Um, Thanks for great news. I was a bit late, but did you mention about B-cube listing? Yeah, I spoke about it, and you will be able to see that in the recording. I spoke quite in depth about that subject. Sorry if you already spoke about B-cube V2, when it will be live. Okay, V2 is a work in progress currently. We are doing a lot of things. We observed that, because I was, like our investors are also the users of our product, the investors like who put money into BQ project. So they're also traders, and they are excellent, software developers, god level software developers. So what was happening was like, I just told them like what I want. I said to them like, look, we have a bit of latency, and we need to reduce it. We need to reduce it as much as possible. And with the current architecture and everything that we had, it was a bit difficult to reduce it. So they said like it's not possible in the current one. And I said like, then we have to create a new one. and we just have to do it very fast, but we don't have so much of time. So, and also the UI of, when you log into the marketplace, the UI, there is a bit of confusion there. That's what I felt personally. So we spoke about that and also with these people. So we are redesigning the UI a little bit, user interface, and your user experience will be much more smoother on this one. And also like execution engine will be a little bit different, because before you are just using like 5% of money every trade, 10% of your money. It's just like very, I mean, like it's meaningless in one way. Like if I have to see it from my point of view, it has to be like fixed amount of money, like $100 per trade, $50 per trade, $200 per trade, $500 per trade, whatever you want, something like that. It has to be. So this is going to change in the execution engine. So you don't have to worry about those percentages anymore. You will be able to put, like a fixed amount after that one. So if you have $1,000, put $100 in every trade. So even if you have $10, it's equally distributed and you make money. You make better money than these percentages, because percentages is always like, you use 10% and you have 90%. So it's again 10% of that 9%, 90%, which is 9%. And that, again, like it's like 10% of 81 remaining percent. So it will be 8.1%. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, this is going to change, and the latency is going to change a lot on the execution engine. So it's going to change a lot, because what we did is like there is something called as like within the execution engine there is something called as like a rule engine, and there is something called as like execution layer engine, like within the execution engine. So in execution engine layer, like what happens is like it goes through AWS, like Lambda and all these things, and it was using a lot of other infrastructure which was not needed. So we made it very secure on the code level, and we use a different language to make this communication between Node.js, Python, and other languages that we are using. I don't want to disclose much of this one because it's about the security aspect. So where these three things will be interacting with each other, and they interact very fast when it happens. So this is one thing. And the rule engine, like currently, is a bit complicated because it has to flow through a lot of things. And we reduced from 400 lines of code to just 60 lines of code using this very beautiful language, um, very amazing language. So I went through these codes, and it was really amazing to see that, like how 400 lines of codes is done with this language with just 60 lines of code. So every time like it was going through all these 400 lines of code, like to make an action happen, now it just goes through like 60 lines of code, and it's very fast, it's very good, it's very secure, it's very scalable at the same time. So our vision is to bring 100,000 orders in every like 3 seconds. So this is the kind of latency that we are eyeing for. So this is all going to come up in the V2. So probably give us like 2-3 months and it will be there. Because if we didn't have like other things to do with B3X and token sale, and like there is auditing going on, many other things that we are doing at the same time, like adding more features on B3X and custodian services. So all our custodian services are happening on Kraken. So we have to like make KYC. We have to do so many checks for the custodian clients. So many things are happening at the same time. So that's why it's about 2-3 months. Otherwise, we could have done it like much faster. Hi, Guru. I'm happy to see your clarity on all this. Really inspiring. One question, how B3X benefits directly BQ project, considering, as you say, that they will be treated as totally different projects. I'm sure you have detailed answer this. So just in a nutshell, there is one video like where I have made like, please Zero, somebody please help me with that video, like for Camilo to understand that, where I've spoken really like something like 30-35 minutes on exactly this question. So in a nutshell, like if B3X is making money, then it has to pay money for BQ because we will be using SFSS like from BQ project. So there's a certain amount of percentages of revenue that goes to BQ. And if BCube is getting cash, if BCube is getting money, the same money will be used in marketing. The same money will be used in, like sex listing, on adding liquidity, and buying back the token and burning and getting into new businesses that opens new avenues for BCube. And when business is growing and having excellent PR and everything, it increases the number of token holders. And when number of token holders will increase, like the price will gradually increase because of that. So it's going to help in so many directs and indirect ways. Some things might not be looking very direct, but indirectly they are extremely strong. So that's how it's going to help in a nutshell. But everything has been taken care so that, like each project like complements each other like in a different way. But we don't have to be explicitly saying that anyway, because that's not going to help. That's going to create a lot of confusion and chaos. So what we need to do is like keep these two things separately, and they have their individual businesses, and they all go hand in hand, because it's the same team at the end of the day, and it's the same founders at the end of the day. So everything is the same. So it's not different. For us, like actually in the company, since it's the same team, like where we do have like for example blockchain um, like for example like blockchain team, like blockchain developers, and some other kind of like AI specific people, like they're like a little bit more on B3X side now. But blockchain developers are completely on B3X side. They're not on BCube side, because BCube has nothing to do with blockchain technology as such. But basically, as a team, we don't try to, differentiate between BCube and B3X. For us, it's the same. So we just have to make progress in some way, so that like we take this progress and we put that back into something like where we can do the things. And also like if BCube is B3X is generating excellent amount of money, which it will for sure, because of the business model, because of the token utility, because of everything that we have planned and everything that we are trying to do. With that amount of money and with that amount of like power that we will have in this industry, many things will be able to possible to do that. Because custodian services, like it has no limits. Sky is the limit for that. Because if you see some of the DeFi protocols like Superform, it's managing $12 billion of asset under management, and the same with Aave, billions of dollars. So with that type of billions of dollars, if we are talking about, then nothing will stop BCube to list on a tier one exchange and make a huge buyback and burn. Many things are possible. Everything is resolving around only one thing, and that is money. And that I have understood it very well. So that's why my top priority is to earn money, is to make profits. Now this is the time to make profits. And that's why I'm focusing on like having a huge TVL. And once we have like that huge TVL, or in centralized way, it's AUM, like asset under management. With that asset under management, we will be able to make a lot of things, a lot of things. So that's where all the focus is on now. We are going to get it. We are going to crack that one. And we are going to have like the biggest, journey with BCube as well as with B3X ever, ever. Because one thing is true, that what gives you the best things in your life, if I ask you, the very good answer would be the experience. Because experience is something like that cannot be replaced with anything in your life. Nothing like experience. Because anything else, like you can get it because your friend said that, or you read a good book, you watched a good movie, you watched a good podcast. Everything you can get it online, but only thing that you can never get it is your experience. And with BCube, like I got the experience of regulators. I got the experience like of going to the worst phase. I got the experience of like going to the best phase, because when we made BCube, like in 2019, when we publicly launched, 2019, 2020, 2021, we were profitable company, absolutely profitable company. We even founders, we have taken dividends from the company because we were profitable until 2021. And anybody can go check Achintya Global Holdings SAS, because all the balance sheet and everything is public. So anybody can go and see 2019, 2021, we actually made profit. So, and afterwards, what happened was like something which was not in our control. So things went very bad. And we understood a lot when it happened this way. And we now know like how to tackle any kind of situation that comes. And we also know like the importance of the marketing, the importance of listing on a good exchange, the importance of like having some prominent people on the company, a prominent team. Like this time, the B3X team, when you see it, I've already revealed it, but you will read more in the white paper and in the pitch deck and everywhere. You will be seriously surprised by seeing the whole team. That kind of team we have. So we are coming from very big banks, very big crypto native companies, big trade finance companies, traditional finance companies, technology companies, every kind of companies. The talents are coming from, and some of them even have experience of working in unicorn startups from the beginning until the end, of building like very low latency high frequency things, everything. So that is the kind of team that we have assembled this time. We had like a team for bcube. Sometimes things were going very slow, and I was not really very happy with that one. And sometimes like we did some kind of very bad hiring mistakes, I admit it. I made some very bad hiring. I admit. It's true. I made it. But I learned from that one. Now I'm hiring very slow, but I will fire very fast. That's my philosophy. I'm hiring like like nearly now there is like 6 different interviews to get into BCube. It's very hard now. It's not like before, like where there used to be one round with me and another round with some technical person and like then welcome to bcube. Like no, that's not going to happen now. There is 6 rounds of interviews, so you cannot fool all the 6 rounds. You have to be someone very smart to get into bcube now. So with this kind of filters and everything, that came with experience. Of course, that didn't happen like overnight. It came with experience. So with all these things that we have, and with the rich experience that we are very, very well positioned. We are very capable of taking the company to newer heights and not to repeat the same mistake what we did in the past. And that's why I'm speaking about market makers. And that's why I'm speaking about very good exchange listing, multiple exchange listing at the same time, and with many other things that we are planning to do. So yeah, there are a lot of plans for bq, but the first thing before making any plans, my top priority is to generate revenues. So that's why I ask everybody to go for custodian services. We are going to make amazing money. You will be making amazing money and completely stress free, and we are all going to have amazing fun together. Yeah, thanks again for explanations and your transparency. So much news and happy months are in front of us. Absolutely, Edwin. Thank you. I understand better now the correlation. And yes, I remember those days of BCube. Thanks for the honesty as well in sharing everything. Do you think BCube models or goals will change based on the revenues coming from B3X, or your plan is to strengthen the current model? Look, like I think we should think about change, or we should think about like pivoting and all these things, like when something is validated as not working. So I don't see it that way for BCube, because BCube's strategies are working very good. BCube AI trading agents are doing extremely good, and they're doing so good that it has never happened in our history so far. Let's be very honest. In 2021 or 22, it was just like not so good, right? Like we all agree with that. But after that, what happened in late 2022 to right now, what's happening with swing spot and other kind of strategies, they're doing extremely good. And they did well like during the bull market, they did well during the bear market, and they're doing good in every types of market. In the worst case scenario, they're not trading sometimes, right? So that's why I think like there is no need to, like change any kind of models or any kind of goals. Goals will still remain the same. As I explained in the beginning, that we would like to be a custodian. We would like to increase our asset under management to significant levels, and then like take it away, take it from there to the next levels. And then we will think what we will do next. But as of now, we are laser focused on doing only one thing at a time, and that is doing custodian. Let's focus only on custodian, try to get as much of AUM as possible, try to make money for customers, try to make money for ourselves, become cash rich, think about something big after that. Um, By the way, I like where everything is heading. Thank you, Camilo. Okay, Simon has another question. Does BCube need to change to Mika in 2024, 2025? Well, we've already started to discuss with the regulators, so we don't have to wait till 2025 May, when it's the last time to register for Mika. We are already in discussion with the regulators. We are explaining to them like what business that we want to do. We are very clear, like we want advisory and we want custodian services. So these are the two services that we want to get listed as a MiCA regulated company, because there are several businesses. Like you can run your own centralized exchange like Binance, you can run advisory, you can run market making things, you can make custodian things, you can do on ramp, off ramp solutions for fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat. There are several things, but we want to get registered only for this advisory, as I said. And second thing is this custodian services. So we will be getting MiCA regulated even before 2025 deadline is finishing. Just to double check, if I have 5K on Binance trading with b-cube agents right now, it would be better for the two projects if I moved that money into custodian services, correct? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't matter. Like if you're just, like giving us these funds, then yeah, you are a customer, no? Like that's what matters. Like it doesn't matter like whether you're using only agents or with us. So it's the same. Like we will manage it. For now, like we are accepting custodian services only with the deposits in crypto, only in stable coins. We're not doing it with euros and everything because it's a very tedious thing, because we have our bank account with Revolut, and when you put the money in Revolut, like it will be blocked for 15 days, and they will ask us to do KYB once from the company side, which is another 15 to 20 days. And then they will ask some questions from your side. You will have to give your address and many other documents. So it will be like unnecessary 1.5 months to 2 months kind of a thing. So we don't want to get into that. So directly we are doing only crypto to crypto transactions as of now. It's like you will give us stable coins and we will give back stable coins to you when you want it back. And we are doing this custodian services after very, very carefully thinking about the exchange on Kraken, because Kraken is the only exchange which has never been hacked so far. It's the most safest exchange. And Kraken is also having a banking license in United States, which makes it like very serious player in this space. And they're very well regulated and very good. I mean, like an exchange which is having a very good track record. So we are doing our custodian services on Kraken to begin with, and probably we will add Binance maybe in the future. But as of now, we are comfortable with Kraken or Coinbase, to be honest, because Coinbase is a Nasdaq listed company. So we have some amount of trust there. So the only reason like why B3X, the another reason, like among the many reason why B3X is going to be a very big one next year, is because if you're watching the charts on DeFi Llama, the centralized exchanges are clearly going down every day, and decentralized exchanges are going up every day. Because like you can't trust like what the centralized exchanges are doing, or like what they will do tomorrow. You never know. They can lock your money and they can do so many things, and you never know like whether they really have the money, or like whether they have gone bankrupt, or we don't know anything about them, right? So yeah, I mean, like in B3X, this is not the case at all, because it's completely decentralized. You have your money, like, and your money is not gambled with anything. Like you have custody of your funds, and that's why the self-custodian things is getting very popular. B3X doesn't need to worry about MiCA, does it? No, B3X doesn't need to worry about MiCA or any regulations because it's a decentralized exchange. So the good thing about decentralized exchange is that many regulations are not applicable to it, because we are not holding your funds. We are not controlling anything. So it's everyone's responsibility. It's not the company's responsibility, because a decentralized exchange cannot go down until the chain on which we are launching goes down. So it's like, for example, if we launch like B3X on Injective, like as we are launching now. So until the Injective chain completely stops working, No one can stop this exchange. Even we can't do anything once we launch it on mainnet. We cannot take it off the mainnet. It's not possible. So once it's on mainnet, it's there on mainnet. That's it. So that's why like no regulations is applicable to decentralized finance. But we are not sitting quiet. Our compliance officer and our legal and compliance officer is already working towards a very good framework for making decentralized exchange compliant with the regulations. So we are also thinking about this because we cannot think about a solution when the problem arises, right? We should be having solutions even before the problem comes. We should be having at least some idea like how to navigate through these things. So for B3X, we will be completely banning users from United States. We don't allow people from US to do it because if we allow them, then they will do the same thing what they did with CZ, with anybody else. They will see to that like you will sit in that prison like, and nobody wants that one. So we are completely blocking it for US users. So we will not have any US users on our platform on B3X at least. So but we are very well aware like sooner or later there might be some regulations that will be coming for decentralized finance also. It will not be the same going forward. Some type of regulation will come. And we are making all this research and we are very well prepared in case if there is a regulation, even for decentralized finance and decentralized exchange platforms going forward. And we are in a good position and good place to tackle this problem in case if it arises. Cool. So any more question, guys? Go ahead, please. Okay. Then if there is no questions, then we will wind off here. Can we have the B3X meetup in the British Virgin Islands when it hits 1 billion market cap? Oh yeah, sure, sure. Why British Virgin Islands? Like we can do it in like in Europe itself, like somewhere. It's so remote place. Like honestly, I don't even know where it is. Like I just saw it like only recently on the map. It's somewhere hiding near the Caribbean. But yeah, definitely. I think the path towards 1 billion market cap, um, B3X is registered. Yes, it's registered as B3X Labs Limited. So it's a registered company in BVI. It's completely registered. So and we have taken the token opinions and we have everything like to say that token is a utility and not a security in nature. So we have everything in place for even centralized exchanges when they will need this when they are listing us. So we have everything in place. Um, I mean, like the path to 1 billion is not that difficult. We need to have like a good AUM. So for that one, all the users, all the BQ users and everybody try to have some money on B3X so that like we will have good AUM. Once we have this kind of good AUM, then we will be boosting with our other marketings, spendings and other marketing strategies that we have. And we will boost it to like a couple of millions of TVL. And once we have like that kind of TVL, then, like listing with a very big bang, like multi-million dollars market cap is not a problem at all. So multi-million is not an issue at all. I mean, like I'm speaking about something like 9 digits minimum. It's not a problem at all because I've seen other DeFi projects like they are having hardly like 3 million, 5 million kind of a TVL, but they're having market cap of 100 million plus. So even if we have like something like that 3 million, something like that TVL, we can do like very, very good, very good. So that shouldn't be a problem. So let's do it. All right, guys. I think there is no more questions, and it was um, okay. Cool. So it was great talking to you, and it was great making this AMS session. So we will make again next month. And until then, like I will see you on Twitter. I will see you like other places, like where I normally find you. Take care of yourself. Have a nice weekend, and let's enjoy and let's make it happen. Um, let's go with this mindset. Mindset is everything. This is what I've learned in my life. So it's not that you become rich because like you're smart. You are already rich if you have that mindset. So mindset is everything. If you have that mindset, if you have that mindset of like not giving up, and you are going to make it, and you will definitely going to make it. For me, like many people said, like we will not be able to make it. I proved them wrong. And one of my friend, like actually, I will not take up the name because he will be watching this one later on. He even made me an offer of $240,000 per annum salary. $240,000 annum salary. He said, like, just come and join here. Like, and currently, like, I'm getting 10% of that money, even less than 10% of that money, my per annum income. Because I get like 24 per annum, 24,000 euros. So what he offered was like 10 times bigger than that. And he said to me, like, come. And I said, like, no. And he said, like, what's crazy? Like, you're going down. Like, why you don't go it? I said, like, no, I am going down, but I am not down yet. And from the down, we rise back. So it's like you're down, but you're not dead. And there is difference between these two things, right? When you're still breathing, and when you know, like, the place where you're going is somewhere different and you're going towards $1 billion, you don't have to worry about that. Because with BQ, like if we are making that kind of revenues, just give you a picture like $5 million worth of AUM is with you. And $5 million, like you will take like 2% entrance fees because it's a big money. So you take 2%. So how much is 2% for this? 2% for this is fair, it's like $100,000. So you have $100,000 in your pocket right now, and you are going to charge like 0.1% management fees on that every month. And imagine, like, in a worst case scenario, you are just able to make like 40% returns. Easily, we can make 40%. We know we have made some simulation study in a Custodian, like how much we can make. So 40% for $5 million is like $2 million. And in the $2 million profit, you're going to get like 20%, which is like $400,000. So you made from this client $600,000. And besides, like all other contracts. So $600,000, like it's huge. And with that kind of money, what can you do with that kind of money? Imagine you can do a lot of things. More the AUM, more the money, more the power you have to spend, and more the money you have to splash on PRs, making like brand building. You can build your personal brand. You can do a lot of things. It's all a kind of domino effect after that. And sky is the limit. Absolutely, sky is the limit. So that mindset of having a proper plan and having a proper business and having a proper business model, having a proper roadmap, having a proper clarity on what you are doing, how you are doing, and where you are going towards is what is needed. And that's where we have, like made this huge step in because we completely have understood how to go about and how to make it happen. So that's where we are going towards, and we are definitely going to make it happen. Nowhere we are going to settle to anything else. BCube will go to $100 on its own, for sure. Like that is the plan. Even now, like that will happen sooner or later. Someday it will definitely happen. And then B3X will go on its own course because B3X is hitting in 2025 when the peak of AI, peak of RWA, peak of DeFi will be going towards. So with that peak in mind and that peak in space, things are going to blow up completely. And it will be blowing up B3X, it will be blowing up BCube, and you will be scratching your hair, and all the hairs will be coming out, and you will have to go to Turkey to fix those hairs back because that's going to happen. That's really going to happen. And we are going to make it happen. Um, Amazing. So, guys, like, thank you so much. It was amazing talking to you. And once again, like, it's always a great time spending with BQBians. I wish you a great weekend and have a nice day. And let's meet you all very soon. Take care, guys. Take care. Bye bye.